Well, it looks like all the he, him, and she, her bars in the world couldn't save the Daily Wire. Of course, I'm talking about the CEO of the Daily Wire, Jeremy Boring, stepping down. And there's a really funny article of the Babylon Bee I want to share with you. Welcome back to the channel, Culture Confederacy here. Yo, Culture Confederates. It's early Saturday morning. I'm actually doing this on the overnight shift on my downtime. I tried working on this video earlier, but for some reason when I do videos, I don't know if I talk fast or I've got a lot to say, or maybe my camera records fast. I don't know what. But it always sounds like I'm talking fast. Like they're using the Cashbox machine. If you don't know what that is, they did this to Phil Hendrie, if you know who Phil Hendrie is. So back in the day, they had something called the Cashbox. And what they would do is they would count the seconds in an hour that somebody was on the air, and they would try to squeeze as much time as they could out of that time period of dead air. This is what they would do. So you sound like this when you're talking. We're trying to give a weather report. You sound like this because you're just all frantic trying to give out the weather report or the traffic report. But it was known as the Cashbox. So I'm trying to work on that. I really am. But thank you again for watching, subscribing, being a part of this thing called the Culture Confederacy. So let's get to this article. Now, if you're new, there's no fancy graphics here. No epic soundtracks. I don't try to be something that I'm not. You're not going to see my ugly kisser here on the video. That's not the point. We talk about preserving great art, music, history, and culture. You might get a tinge of politics, definitely current events. Let's face it, we don't live in a bubble. Mozart, Beethoven, all the greats back in the day, great writers, authors, Mark Twain, they didn't live in a bubble. But this is such a funny article, I had to share this with the audience. So title of the article here, Babylon Bee. Jeremy steps down as CEO at Daily Wire, founds new company, Jeremy's Daily Wire. Jeremy's Daily Wire. One of conservative media's most prominent figures has announced that he will be stepping down as CEO of the Daily Wire to found a brand new company called Jeremy's Daily Wire. So now you can get a double dose of the Daily Wire. Go watch Ben Shapiro at the Daily Wire, and then go watch Jeremy's Daily Wire to get your double dose of the Daily Wire. Say that 5 times. The shakeup came as shock to fans of the media platform as the co-founder and longtime head of the company left his position of leadership now, to launch a much newer, even less woke media organization. I think that's a real scream here. This whole thing, but this is my big beef with conservative media. Oh, we're not woke. We're not woke. But we might agree with the left on this issue. We might agree with the left on that issue. We don't believe in what you believe in. We don't agree with you. You must be part of the, or you might be a Confederate sympathizer. The Democratic Party was the party of slavery, even though you had a lot of Republicans who owned slaves back in the day. Sorry, Republicans. Hey, I don't care who I offend on this channel. I've got to offend somebody. No, just joking, just joking. No, I'm into truth. I'm into using logic and reason to figure things out. And that's what's missing in today's media. These people are in these camps, whether it's the Daily Wire or no knock on Candace Owens, whoever it is, whether it's Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Michael Knowles, you name it, whether it's whoever you have on the left. I'm so familiar with people on the right, but let's say you have Bill Maher, Bill Maher, who I think is more middle of the road. He's one of those classic Democrats, and the truth is that Trump is actually, believe it or not, a 1940s Democrat. That's what Trump is. So getting back to the article here, quote, it's time for a conservative media alternative to the conservative media alternative, he said in a press release. Yes, because we need a conservative media alternative to the previous conservative media alternative to be a conservative media alternative to the previous media conservative alternative, because it wasn't alternative enough. It wasn't conservative enough. What exactly does that mean? You see, they can't figure this out. They can't figure out what Liberal or conservative means they just call themselves that, set up these camps, have these, online media organizations or operations like the Daily Wire. Now, I think I've seen a couple interviews with the guy who heads up the Babylon Bee. I wanted to say here, the Daily Beast. Blah. Can you tell I'm working on fumes here, as I may have said earlier? So he goes on to say here, just like I've done with razors and chocolate. By the way, I've done, was looking at some reviews. Haven't done reviews of these Jeremy's razors or Jeremy's chocolates. But I did see some reviews on the chocolates. And needless to say, feelings were mixed. They said it really wasn't all that. Let's face it, it's a gimmick. It was a gimmick to get back at the woke crowd. That's what it was. And this whole thing with Ben, I talked about this in a previous video. Ben talking about the Derek Chauvin trial. A lot of people are asking, why are you doing this now? Well, really, why are you coming out and talking about Derek Chauvin now? This isn't really the right time for it. So I think what's going on here at the Daily Wire is a lot of back office politics. You get that in any organization. But that's really what's going on here. And I'm damn well sure it's going to come out that there were things going on behind the scenes and a lot of backbiting. Already starting to see that. And I think maybe they have overplayed their hand with all these movies that came out. Now, Matt Walsh's Am I Racist did really, really well last year. It was one of the top grossing documentaries. So way to go, Matt Walsh. But I've said this before, I'll say it again. If you want to fight the culture war by writing a symphony or a really awesome movie where you don't have to cuss. Or write a rap song where you don't have to cuss. I'm actually working on a symphony because that's the style of music that I like. That's what I do in my spare time. And it's really cool, by the way. If you haven't had a chance to do it, hop on YouTube and start looking for people doing these realizations of these scores that people have discovered. In fact, this guy named Adolf Breuer, Breuer, his third symphony. There's something about that finale, the last couple minutes of that finale. I mean, it just gets me every time. It's so good. It's like, yeah. That's what I'm talking about when I say preserve great art, music, history, and culture. We need that. We need a lightning bolt. Not the same old Ben Shapiro. We love you, Ben. But come on, a little originality here. Now, let's face it. How did Ben get started? By debating people on these college campuses. I can guarantee you that had he had been debating people off these college campuses, he probably wouldn't have been as popular. Oh, but he just so sexy. But hats off to Ben. Nothing against Ben Shapiro. I'm just pointing out here that when you set yourself up in these camps, liberal, conservative, rather than using reason and logic, this is exactly what's going to happen. You're going to have people like Jeremy Boring having these conflicts with people he works with who can't agree on squat, when the main focus should be running a business and providing the most accurate down the middle of the road information that's out there. That's what I try to do on this channel. Now, yes, the name of this channel is the Culture Confederacy. Yes, I have part of a Confederate battle flag in my little thumbnail. There's a reason for that. The American flag, the Confederate battle flag, you see the pen represents ideas, the exchange of ideas. You see that little symbol on the side there? That's actually the viola clef. How many know what the viola clef looks like? It's supposed to represent the forgotten people, men and women in history, whether it be in music or in any form of the arts, writing, you name it. So before I go off on a tangent here, sorry, I just hit the table here. As I said, I'm at work doing this on my downtime. Let's get back to the article at hand. So Jeremy Boring, according to the Babylon Bee. Oh, this is such a juicy article. It's just so funny. It is. So what he's going to do, what he's done with razors and chocolate, he's going to do to a new Daily Wire that's going to have more juice than the current Daily Wire. Get your daily double dose of the Daily Wire. Now, rumors have surfaced that Bourne is attempting to secure several well-known members of the Daily Wire lineup with launch programs that include Jeremy's Mad Walsh Show and Jeremy's Jordan Peterson podcast. But it's all about Jeremy Boring. Here at the law offices of Jeremy, and Jeremy. Several sponsors have also been announced. Everything will be sponsored by my two brand new companies, Jeremy's Razors and Jeremy's Chocolates, followed by, as they say down here, Contact Lenses and Jeremy's Auto Insurance. At publishing time, sources said Boring's departure as CEO of the Daily Wire ultimately came as a result of a contract dispute he had with himself. He couldn't even agree with himself of what he wanted to do, but he wants to go out there. He wants to have another form or version of the Daily Wire. Yeah, I'm going to one-up you, Ben. I'm going to one-up you. You know, when I started this channel, I had nothing. It was just me, my smartphone. Now, I'm up at, I think, like 382 subscribers. For a small channel, that's a feat. I am happy with that. You know why? Because to me, the message is most important. That's the most important thing. You can go to all the college campuses you want. You can have all the debate forums you want. You can sell as many chocolate bars or razors as you want. But if you miss the message, you miss the boat. That's a fact, Jack. That's a fact. So thank you for being with me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Follow me at Instagram, hashtag Jason Composes. Because I write music in my spare time, you can go to X, Culture Confederacy, at Culture Confed 1 on X. Now you can find me at Substack. In fact, I just wrote an article at Substack. Try to keep track of all my articles at Substack. Talking about the the title of the article is Ben Shapiro painted over the death of George Floyd? Because Michael Levin posted something at The Hill talking about this pardon or this federal pardon for Derek Chauvin. But you can check out my video about that as well, my previous video. But go to Substack, check out that article. So, again, thank you for being with me. I'll catch you next time. And if I didn't mention it, where else can you find me? Oh, Culture Confederacy, Culture Confederacy, Culture Confed 1 on X. There, I got it out. Hey, it takes a lot to do these videos. So you all have a great early Saturday morning. I'll catch you next time, and take care. God bless.